to a very exciting part of the conversation, talking about things that have popped up over the week in the creative arts industry. And today we're talking about creative arts, artists and their welfare. A lot of times we've seen many artists, producers, actors, people in the creative arts space, and after fame are unable to keep up, especially when they have situations such as health ailments or anything of such sort, and have to resort to seeking for funds from the public. Now, what can we do to ensure that the artists, the people in the creative arts space are protected, or at least are secure after fame or after retirement? Now, that's the conversation we're going to be having. But of course, before anything, going to bring on the drink for the week. So our guest in the second part of the show is Nicole Asnogo. So our drink today is named 4 Spices of Nikki. It contains pineapple juice, passion fruit puree, rosemary water, and of course, the best part, Good Day Energy drink. This cocktail is fueled by Caution Cocktail Bar. They get us going right here on the chat. So, of course, please get interactive. Use the hashtag the chat. And getting into the conversation now, I am joined in studio by Nanaya Redu, Coca, and Chris Carter, entering the conversation about creative artists and their welfare. Let's use Sugartone as an example. I mean, the music video we just watched by Reggie Zippy, now Reggie Mboli, was produced by him. He did quite a lot of songs, Shatawale's Mogoho, and a few other hits that we all know. When we hear the Sugartone, you know that he's the one behind it. Now, recently, a video went viral of him in a not so great space, since he may be on drugs and other. Well, I cannot diagnose for sure what he was on, but it seemed that he was not entirely the person that we know from back in the day. We've seen a lot of this in recent years, where a lot of artists after retirement now have to resort to crowdfunding or going on public appeals to be able to get money to be able to pay for their necessities. Yeah. How can we reverse this as an industry, Chris?
Well, I think it's time to actually take the issues of royalties seriously in this industry. Everybody needs to understand that I need to be paid for my work. As artists or creative people, what I realize is that we are fueled by passion. Yes. We are fueled by, okay, let's just see our dream come true. Oh, the thing that I'm working with my hands, let it just be a success. A lot of people are fueled, most of us are all fueled and excited about that before we even think of the pay. And it's time for us to have the business mind instead of just the whole excitement of, the glory now, everybody calling you now, everybody talking about you now. Yes, they're calling you and talking about you and everything, but is it translating to money though? It's time for us to look at the business part of things as creatives. And secondly, with the issue of, most of them seeking for funds and everything, at the end of the day, it's always like, even if there was a system of, having money, it shows that some of them will still not know how to manage their funds.
That's true.
Sometimes it's not just about, maybe the person didn't get paid. Some people have gotten paid. We've seen it like even abroad. A lot of people have, where they even have those systems working. And you hear, oh, this person is broke. And you're like, broke?
How did you
get broke? Oh, they say, oh, I'm bankrupt. I'm like, wow, how? Do you understand? So it's also about they being able to be disciplined, manage themselves, manage their money. Fame comes, a lot of things come with fame. There's this adrenaline of, I'm on top right now. But a lot of people forget tomorrow. Yeah. That, your reign will pass. So nobody saves. Nobody thinks of what next. Nobody invests in any other thing. Everybody's just like, okay. But yeah, so basically that's those 2 points for me. It's about, being disciplined, learn to manage, and also it's time to think about the business aspect of things, which is the whole royalty conversation that we need to be having. Yeah.
I like that. Now, let me come to you, Coca. seeing this regular occurrence, and I'll say regular because we've seen it in so many aspects of the arts, from producers like Sugartone to actors who had their heyday to artists. What has been your observation seeing this time and again, and where do you think we're going wrong?
It's individual planning and managing funds.
You place it all on that?
Yes.
How?
Life is what it is.
Okay.
Each one for himself.
God for us
So
all.
if today you are making money and you are enjoying it, tomorrow when you go broke, don't expect me to come be an NGO in your life.
But why not? Maybe we haven't placed systems like put all artists or creative artists on SNITs, pensions. Have we put that in place?
It's like you know this land has been sold to somebody and you decide to buy that land. It's a risk you're taking. Once you decide to enter into creative arts business in Ghana, you should know that you are entering into a death trap. That the fame will come, but you will go home empty. And it's going to get more worse in this current dispensation.
How?
Where there are no more shows, where our digital systems are not well managed, where artists are not positioning themselves right, where we don't appreciate brand association and what it goes with. We just want people to give us, but we're not ready to give us. So it was going to get worse. But if you don't, let me give you an example. If today I come here and you give me 20K and I decide that I mandatorily will pay Social Security on that amount and save certain portion or invest in real estate, who am I doing it for? It's for myself. But if you decide to party with your friends and chill with your friends, and the day comes they separate the boys from the men, you chill.
But then I'll come. You know what? Let me get Nanayao's point, and I'll ask a follow up with yours. But Nanayao, same question. Are we doing something wrong as an industry? Is it individual balancing, quote unquote, or is it that the industry hasn't put in place the structures to enable people earn after their fame?
Okay, thank you. I think that the bigger problem is weak unions in Ghana, in our creative art industry. Our major issue in Ghana is in the creative sector is that we have very weak unions across musicians, actors, whatever, very weak unions. So the work of the union, the role the union is supposed to play in the life of a creative person is not there. So there's no regulation. Let me give you an example, right? UTAG just released a press release saying that on Monday, all teachers in the universities shouldn't go and teach. When was the last time you heard any union in the creative arts industry come out to speak for its members? Let's start with the Actors Guild. Go to the Musicians Union. Nothing. Now, regulations play a very key role in our work. When you want to book an artist for, let's say, a gig, the union is supposed to regulate the pricing for everybody because there are third parties involved in what we do, right? Now, when the government says fuel prices are going up by 1%, quickly GPRTU will come out and say, all the fares going forward now, you pay X amount of money for taxis, Y amount of money. So the union plays an important role. If the union really is working, no musician in Ghana will go broke. Okay. You will have tax issues. That is personal. If you don't file your taxes, the government will deal with it. But even that, the union will assist you in how to file for your taxes. So in Ghana, the creative arts industry is not doing well because there are weaker unions. We shouldn't kid ourselves. It's nothing. MUSIGA has never come out to say that we are challenging GAMRO. This is how much our members should be paid. If you work in a salon, you have to pay us 1 cedi. If you work in a restaurant, pay our members 2 cedis. If you work in let's say, a corporate office, pay our workers 5 cedi. Now, if you are regulating all these things, GAMRO can know how much to charge and even pay. We are all crying that GAMRO is not paying musicians well. How do you want them to pay? How much are the TV stations supposed to pay? How much are the nobody knows. No regulations. So what happens is that we are all living for ourselves and then trying to make ends meet with what we have. And that's the problem. You see, the other industries works. Aside the creative arts, if you go to the technology, if you go to the engineering, it works because the systems work. Our failure is one union that is not working. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So you have issues like sugar tone and all these things come up so many times because if a union is working, they will have a lot of things to offer. I manage artists across the world. I have an artist in UK who hasn't sung for like 2-3 years. The last check I received in my email, right, for music performance rights in the UK was around £2,000.
Wow.
Yes, I can show you receipts. I have it here. I actually brought all my receipts because I don't want to make a medical out. What I'm saying is that unions play. You see, Ghana, we take unions to be welfare groups.
But you see it as an NGO.
Yes, no, it's an NGO, but you see, you are supposed to take care of, you're supposed to have interest in the revenue of your members because if it's an NGO, whatever it is, you are also taking a certain percentage to run administrative work.
Yeah.
So if a union works, listen, sugar tone and all these things, when I see it, I'm scared because it might happen to me.
Yes.
Earlier on, you were talking about SNIT, right? A union's work is supposed to propose that to its members. Have you ever heard anything from that before?
No.
Be
but
sincere.
they propose to a lot of times to musical people. What do they do about it?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. If
the
a union
has
is
been put to you, they can't put down to their head for them to implement it.
Even if a union has 5 members, right? If a union has 5 members and they do everything right, the 5 members will refer other 5 to come and join the union because it works. You understand? We've been fighting Alliance for Change. It's a pressure group. We've been fighting for systems to work, for royalties to be paid and all that. We've never had any invitation from the musicians union to say we want to come on board with you guys. Let's talk to Gamro. Let's go on the table with these guys and see what we can do. Nothing. So these guys are part of the system. It's like our creative industry, like he said, it's a death track because weaker unions, we are all doing what we want to do to survive. And what happens to us afterwards is our own cup of tea.
Now, coming to this point, you would see that a lot of the people, obviously, that have aged now, that are now needing our support a bit more, were people that had their heydays years past. They were not earning the amounts people are earning now. There were very little systems put in place back then. They practically earning very little as compared. When some of the actors speak about how they go on sets for free and then go and take their trochers and go, they in particular were not earning enough to be able to now take care of themselves in their retirement. A lot of these people, Sugar Tone, the amount of money he was probably taking then is nothing compared to what the producers take now.
Well, Sugar Tone was taking better money than most of the producers.
Yeah, because they were working directly with producers.
They were producers. That one, I walk to the studio and I tell you, play this for me.
Yeah.
Now, most of the engineers produce and send it to you. That whether you like it, they were making good money.
But not compared to what they're making now, because obviously right now
he's making. I remember because I used to work with the likes of JQ and other people. They were taking good money then.
As compared to those that take, or better than those that take now?
Yes.
The producers these days are
a lot of the producers are not making money now. A lot of them, their songs are hits, but their pockets are dry.
You see,
JQ's and Apietu's time, there is a queue.
Yes,
you go there, you pay, and they give you a time to come. This time, I need to give you my beats. When you go AWA with a song, that is where maybe I'll get some gigs from him and the other people. So it's changed. There are 2 people you mentioned. One, those who did the passion 20 years ago, it was just for the passion. Me, when I stopped working with Roverman and I started doing my stuff, I went to SNIT to check how much they were paying. And I decided that, okay, if I get any gig, I will do this. COVID came 1 year, I wasn't working. When I got another gig, I decided to pay that because I planned that if I'm 60, I should be able to take care of myself and not beg. But we don't have a plan.
But you see, that's what I'm saying, that
we don't have a plan as creative people.
You see, when we have regulations, right? For instance, he said Sugar Tone Dems were making more money.
Yeah.
Now, that's even where the problem comes to play. That they were weaker unions back then. Because if I'm doing it for passion, and I'm being paid, my union is supposed to step in for me and negotiate for
direct
me.
where I would
exactly
put
like
the money.
the union is supposed to say, okay,
No.
Yeah.
Money, I come to the studio,
It's
you
a
collect.
personal thing.
Why? Is the
No,
ceiling
if-
fan or
oh,
the
no,
owner
no,
is
wait,
going
wait,
to be
wait.
the one
Imagine-
who
no, no,
monitor
listen.
how the money is?
No, don't get it wrong.
Imagine
right
if-
now in Australia, right now, there's a price range for studio booking
Yes.
across. Why? Because they have to regulate it so that everybody in the industry
can get
can
something.
get it.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is that if I walk into a studio and there was a certain regulatory that everybody knows that, oh, AJ has to pay 5 cedi to produce a song, and I come and I say 10 cedi, AJ can say, okay, I'll pay the 10 because you're too good, or I need your service, or I want to go by what is there. It's like how these trade unions and stuff fight for their members.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
I understand that, but just like Coca is saying, even though AJ pays you that amount or even pays you more, AJ
Yes.
does not regulate how you spend your money.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
You spend
No,
your money
which
how
I-
you
The
know-
kind of girls you choose, I don't have control by.
Gentlemen and lady, you know what? Let me bring on to the line the current acting president of MUSIGA, Uncle Bessa Simons. Uncle Bessa, it's good to have you on the line. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello.
Yes, Uncle Bessa, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay.
Okay,
There's
well-
something on my screen and I can't get rid of it.
Okay. It's allowed, Uncle Bessa. So quickly, we're talking about creative artists and their welfare. A lot of times seeing some of the artists years after fame unable to pay for their necessities and having to resort to crowdfunding to be able to pay for their medical bills or so. Oh, we've lost Uncle Bessa there. We'll try and get him back on the line. Now, coming back into the conversation with Nanayao, Coca, and Chris. But let's look at it in a different way. Imagine if, yes, maybe the structure's not put in place, but imagine if we were allocating a specific amount of our revenue every year to sort of safekeeping in music or whatever it is, and then years after, these amounts are compiled and given to us for our retirement. A weird way of doing SNIT, but maybe in-house SNIT to some extent. Shouldn't that be an approach that we should consider?
That's an approach. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the union right now.
Yeah.
You get it? Do you belong to any corporate union? I have one in my church that I belong to.
Apart from,
When
Yeah.
you are serving God, you have a union.
Yeah, there's a corporate union.
So who are you going to petition?
No, listen, it's not about petitioning. You see, there are things that help us as creative people. We are not business people. Most of us are very creative. He's super creative. When he's on the field, you should see him work. If he has a union behind him, it's their work to say, Coca, this job, do X, Y, Z on it. If he doesn't do, the union is safe. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like we have
I agree
a sense
perfectly
of
with
belonging
what you're
that
saying.
takes care of you.
Good.
That also protects
because we have
you.
seen in situations like ex-footballers,
Let me
where
give you
some
clear example.
people reach out, like I've heard stories about ex-managers,
Exactly.
ex-teams,
Take
trying
your
to get
station.
some revenue from
Take
there.
your station.
You
The
understand?
station is managed by professionals.
Yes.
If I get stuck in my career and I feel the going is tough, I want to manage a welfare. That is crap. That is where the problem
Yes,
is.
yeah, that's what the problem is.
We need
I
to
think
get
I agree.
experienced people, somebody who is a finance person, somebody who is a marketing person, somebody who is a PR person. Now, how do we move? This is how we communicate with our people. I have spoken to this bank, I have spoken to this insurance company. This is the deal we have brokered. So this is how we are going to do our collections. This is how much you get.
Okay.
But somebody who has retired from music, who is struggling more than me in their career, is coming to manage my welfare. Where do you think the person is leading me?
So you see, so it comes back.
It actually comes back to what
What
you
I'm
were
saying.
saying. And at the end of the day, I think I agree with both of you because it takes experienced people to actually make this work. It's not people that just get up and say, oh, we're supposed to have a union, and then just say,
Then
okay,
you
I'm the
think
president.
a miracle will happen, then
Yeah,
the union
no,
will
it,
come.
does, it doesn't work like that.
For instance, right, if you go to London, right, you can check. PPL and PRS, they have a rate card
Yes.
that everybody is paying. Right? Why did they do that? It regulates the system. Now, there's a certain allocation for your SNIT and stuff in the future. So when you're receiving your royalties for your music usage in public,
Let me cut into that and go to at MUSIGA President Uncle Bessa Simons. Uncle Bessa, you're back on the line. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you loud
Wonderful,
and clear.
wonderful. Now, coming to MUSIGA as an organization, is there a welfare structure put in place for artists or creatives on your roster who, years after fame, who need some support, maybe financially towards their medical bills or whatever it is? Is there a welfare fund allocated to this effect?
Okay, thank you very much, and a very good evening to your listeners in the panel. I think what is happening and what you are discussing, it all boils down to problem solving. But let me say this, MUSIGA, at our last conference, what we've done is every region have their own welfare system, which you have to contribute to benefit, okay? And then just this year, something we've been trying to do for a long time that we couldn't do, that was having an insurance policy. We just, after a long meetings with the State Insurance Corporation, we managed to have a life policy insurance. So we call it welfare insurance policy. So what it is you will have to pay 50 cedis and you get certain benefits. This is just the beginning. It's just going to add so many things to it for next year to come. But the point is, many people don't know about this because they are not members. And many people also don't want to hear positive things about the union. At the end of the day, the union is for musicians.
Right.
It's for players. So if you are not a member, then you will miss out on certain things. I mean, for example, we have a free music tuition every first Monday of the month, and people who come, you see. And also, for what you are talking about, I just want to dig in quick before I forget this one. What is happening, I left the shores of Ghana some time ago. I've been here for about 35 years. I came back. I was here when they started the royalty things and the copyright things. And many things that should have been done long time ago, it's not done.
Right.
And you see, people, these things, I mean, go to UK, I mean, they started years ago.
Right.
But here, we never put the structures in place. I don't know how they did it. Simple things that could have been done long time ago, they didn't do it. And they don't have a united front. You know, and what small things that they can sit around the table, get people who have the know-how to put it together for them. They didn't do it. They rather sit down and argue, and you will fight everything. And the problem is still waiting to be solved. So I think this is one of the biggest problems that is happening. If there's a problem and you don't solve it, it gets worse.
Uncle Bessa, I completely agree. Now, for the 50 cities, what is the benefit for, or how much coverage is it going to attract for 50 cities for the as the premium price or premium pay for each artist? And also, what are we doing to scale up more participation or more membership of MUSIGA currently? If people are not joining, what are we doing to ensure that we can increase membership?
Okay, so I mean, the first one, I mean, if you pay 50 cedis, you get your hospital bills when you are admitted. You know, they will pay some of your bills.
Okay.
And for example, there's an accident,
Even also,
and you cannot play music again.
Okay.
You also it from there. And also when you, for example, you know, something happened and you die, you also get something for it. And then when your spouse, you know, dies, you get something for that one too.
Now, how are we scaling up with membership to ensure that every member is covered?
Yes. I mean, we've been doing membership drive. And don't forget, MUSIGA does not look only after people in Accra.
Okay.
We look at all the 10 regions, and we are now going to inaugurate the new 6 regions.
Okay.
We'll get them to on board.
Okay.
So when we put informations out there, I mean, sometimes we go on radio, we go on television, we invite musicians to come. Like here right now, I will, just before I finish, I would like to encourage all musicians to come to MUSIGA, join MUSIGA, bring all the ideas that you have to MUSIGA. Make sure we implement it, because we are moving forward. You might be even surprised when you come to some of the ideas you are bringing, you've already started. So please, I'm encouraging all musicians to come. And don't tell me you didn't hear that I said it on this program. I've said it on so many programs.
Okay.
I'm encouraging you to come, because you, especially the young ones, you are the future. If you don't, then you are letting yourself and the union down.
Right, Uncle Bessa. So finally, before I let you go, and I'll come to Coca and Nana Yao in the studio, with royalties, which is basically a lot of the big question now, how is MUSIGA, or what steps is MUSIGA taking with maybe Gamro to ensure that the royalty system is streamed, the amount of money that each artist is given, and also to expand to the point where all artists are covered and all royalties are presented to every artist, at least in the Ghanaian music space?
Thank you very, very much. You see, the thing is, most of us who know how it works in other countries have tried to help in so many ways, but still the problem is not solved. So I think we have a big problem with our royalties, and we need to fix it now. Because I heard you say something, our elders, whom I know, who I learned from, have passed away where they didn't make anything at all. So for us, MUSIGA, we are finding any way that we can get Gamro to work. And I speak now. We have done so many things that we're waiting, and very soon you will hear from us, coming out to make sure that the problems that has not been solved for a long time, that is allowing musicians not to receive what they should get, especially when it comes to royalties, must start. Because the thing is, it's not that you just make record and you make money. No, when you make record, you have to sell it. And these days, selling record is not by holding your CD or even pen drive to go and sell. All is through, social media. So we have to educate our members. And also, from my research that I've done, I've come to realize that because we've been to South Africa, Nigeria, Canada, UK, and then US. And from all that I'm getting is that if Facebook sees that you are ignorant, they will sit on your money and use it.
Right.
So we are getting grants and things so that we can educate our members. Also, we are going our proposals for Gamro, for what we think Gamro needs to do for us to get what is due to everybody.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Uncle Bessa. And I'm coming into the studio to Nana Yao and Coca, who have had a lot of things to say.
Yes, because this man is a failure.
How is he a failure?
He musicians, if you allow this man to lead you.
But he is the one leading.
Even what's his name? Moses wasn't able to take his people. Even you start the journey. Look at the way the man is talking.
No, but what is it
50 series collection. Everything he said is non-fa.
No, but he's put
You came from UK. What did you bring? This is what I was talking about.
No,
failure
Coca,
from the beginning.
Coca,
and you're going to vote for this man as your president.
Coca.
Stop the music and go and sell.
The man has put in place a plan.
You can't even market yourself. This is an opportunity to sell yourself as a president. He's a failure.
Coca, we're all speaking about what we need to do. He's put in place a structure.
But he's there before.
Starting with 50 CDs for every artist.
This thing I heard from Obuo. That's what I'm saying, that what he's reading are dead notes Obuo did. There is nothing fresh about this. You see? This is what he said. You see, we manage artists. We know what they go through.
Right.
How are you going to collect the 50 CDs?
No, but it's
what they need to do is go to government, get people to lobby, go to parliament. okay, please, let's tax music because the music consumption in this country is this way. How do you tax it? Bring solutions that you are going to collect, and now every region is on its own with their welfare, and you're a leader.
No, but he says they're trying to incorporate every region.
All the regions
The
together.
10 regions have been
He's not even aware that we have
No, he
16
said
regions. He's thinking about 10 regions.
He's adding the new 6 regions to it. So the 10 regions was what everyone was working with.
Anybody
And it's now
you
16.
interview who starts by saying thank you for your question is a failure.
How?
But because he doesn't know the answer, so he has to
did.
thank you to think of what he's going to say.
And let me bring Nanaya into the conversation. Nanaya, what were your disagreements with some of the things he said?
Look at his shop.
Facebook.
Okay, so let me do some education, yeah?
Okay.
So Facebook doesn't see anybody as ignorant.
Exactly.
So when you have, so this is what happens. I am a music middleman. I sell music online.
Okay.
We have a place where artists give us authority or pass us or give us the permission to put their music on Facebook. So Facebook has Facebook Music. So if your music is being used on Facebook or Instagram or on Instagram Reels, they will pay you.
Exactly.
Publishing goes back a year. So therefore, if you don't even have a publisher and you get one now, or let's say you come to me and I give you one now, they will go back a year and collect the revenue for you from all the platforms. So what you said is a lie.
So it only goes back a year. So if your
Yes,
music has been
but
utilized
Facebook is
for
not.
the last 5 years.
Facebook, like YouTube, like Spotify, they are not taking anybody for granted. They are paying actually. Let me say something, right?
Who are they paying?
Earlier on,
No, wait.
Earlier on,
Who are they paying to?
they are paying
If
to
I am-
publishers. They are
Okay.
paying to aggregators. If
Okay.
you don't have one, you have to go and find and check.
So if I don't have a publisher or an aggregator,
sorry, go ahead.
if I don't have a publisher or aggregator, what happens to me?
Yes, you have to quickly find an aggregator and find a publisher. Then, when you give the authority, we will go back a year and check every song that has been used on Facebook for you, and then your revenue will be paid. Like I said, if you are an artist and you upload through TuneCore, TuneCore has a section where they tell you that they will put your music on Facebook. If you agree, you click yes, I agree, and then they will begin to collect the revenue for you. It's that simple. That is why Jackie became #1 through Instagram and TikTok,
Right.
Yeah.
and they were paying her.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say? So what he said is a lie. Now, as a union,
You didn't know.
No, let's not say it's a lie.
I don't think
but
a lie.
I-
Maybe
he
I didn't
said
know.
somebody told
He
no.
is green.
He
No,
said,
I
He is
understand.
he
green
said it
in
himself.
music
He said
management.
that Facebook, yes, say if you're ignorant, they will keep your money. That's
No,
what
I
the
don't
money
think-
said.
But
Let's not say lie, but I
But it's a lie.
I don't
That's
think
for
it's
the
from
fact
some
that
from
it's a
memory.
lie.
Fine.
We
No
can't
problem.
state
Lie,
that it's a
lie.
lie. We can't state that it's a lie.
problem.
It's
We
just
can't-
misinformation.
We can't state that
Okay,
it's
so
a
he
lie.
didn't know, so I've just
I
done
think
some
we have to
education.
be a bit more charitable in in
Yeah.
our language with him.
No problem.
It's
no,
a-
no
it's a
problem. You see,
misinformation.
I'm on the edge because I run a music agency.
Right.
Even for me as an agency, I propose things to my members every single day. Now, let me say this. AudioMark, for so many years, they were not paying a dime in Africa. Now, they launched a platform called AMP.
Are people receiving the monies from before they arrived? Or
Yes, so now, if you're an artist on AudioMark, AudioMark is paying directly to you. They are the first platform to pay artists directly.
Okay.
Now, as a union, it is your work
Okay.
to find out some of these enticing conversations
Yeah.
for your group, for your members, so they can be part. He was talking about
And
how,
hedge your price.
how artists should come and all that kind of thing. Have you been to the musical office? Have you seen what it has been turned into? What does musical do for members? Please, let's be sincere here.
But then again, we went back to the point where they need revenue for administrative purposes. So perhaps because they're not enough.
in the
people
past,
on
when
it-
Why
I
are
work
you
in-
fighting for a position you know you don't have the resources to manage?
No,
Because he's
in
trying
the
to make a
past,
difference.
AJ,
we are all expected to make a difference in our own small ways. Maybe
Listen,
he felt
that is
in
why
his capacity.
that's why I'm saying that
he
he's the
can.
wrong person to be there.
Wait, Uncle Bessa is still on the line and he would like to say a few things. Uncle Bessa, please, if you may, there are a few things that have been said here. I don't know if you heard some of them, but what are your thoughts or your answers to some of the questions?
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much. I mean, all that they're saying, I know about. But I think the difference here is I am not saying I. You know, we are working for a larger community.
Right.
You know, it's not one person. And I must say that only few people are making it in Ghana.
Yes.
And we are looking at a bigger picture. You know, just yesterday, I was with our counterpart from Nigeria. And I mean, from what we are going to do, and what we are collaborating. I'm talking to, like I said, now, West Africa musicians, we're all coming together, and then we're going to make sure there is, for example, certain things that should be done for musicians to receive. As I speak now, Nigeria has been able to receive their first, $1 million royalties.
Wow.
They are going inside their borders, all West Africa.
Yeah.
And they are not going on their own because it won't work.
Right.
We have to do it. You see, so it's not a fight, and it's not blaming Bessa. We should all come together and make this work. Anytime I see people talking, pointing fingers, I feel a bit sad, because that has not solved any problem, any of our problems. And we are still pointing fingers at this time. If the youngsters inherit pointing fingers rather than sitting at the round table and solving problems, the problems they won't go away.
Right.
They will be waiting for that. It's not about what Bessa brought from UK or anything. I'm not going to sit down here and tell you what I brought from UK, but I'm going to tell you that we need to solve this problem, and you should be a part of a problem-solving team, so that we solve this problem. I am really, I get sad. We have to do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. I mean, we are talking to the government. Now there is the Creative Agency Bill. We have to make sure it is implemented.
Okay. Yes.
And if we are going to do and point fingers and fight all the time, then they might not even implement it, and then we will still be fighting amongst ourselves.
Okay.
But as I said, the way musicians make money is at their time, those days, when they were making hits. The moment you go past that prime time, you start making less money.
Yeah.
And so we have to work fast, and so that is why many people did not. We have to put the structures we were supposed to put in.
Absolutely, Uncle Bessa, absolutely. I'm so sorry that we have to round up this conversation just when it was getting a little exciting. Gentlemen, if I give you another opportunity, we'll get into another back and forth. So I'd like to thank you all for coming. Coca, thank you very much for your thoughts. And Nanaya, really, always a pleasure having you. Chris, amazing hair, amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.